Hey, so first of all, I don't know how well you can see me. My dress I'm wearing is a little short, but I don't think you can see that far down. Hi, apologies first of all because my hair, I probably look kind of gross. It's not super hot outside, like the sun isn't super bearing and stuff, but it's gotten muggy and sticky and yeah. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So sorry if that's how I look. Second apology, I told you it'd be up Friday or Saturday, probably Saturday, and today's Sunday. I'm recording this on Sunday and it'll be up sometime tonight. It is currently 7:49 and I am hoping to start the process of editing and uploading as soon as I'm done recording. That being said, let's get on with the review. One more thing actually, spoiler alert in case you haven't read Eliza and Her Monsters and plan on reading it, because I'm going to say some things about how it ended and stuff, and I don't want to ruin it for you. So if you haven't watched it yet, or haven't read it, I keep wanting to say watch. If you haven't read it yet and don't want the end to be ruined, please do not watch this until you've read it, and then you can tell me whether or not you agree. That's what I say and how I feel. So, if you want to see my original predictions, you can go back to my last video. I might try to put it, I don't know if I can yet, but if I can, I'll try to put it, a link somewhere, put it on the video somewhere or something, the link to that video. But I had some predictions of it, and my predictions were slightly on track. I was kind of right. One of my predictions involved her meeting a friend that was actual real friend, and I did slot the other video. That was actually a real friend, and I thought maybe it would be the Wallace guy that was new, that she had kind of met, she had been introduced to, and it did end up being him. She ended up becoming not only friends with him, but in a relationship with him, boyfriend and girlfriend, and found out that he was Rainmaker, who is like one of the main mods on the forums of her comic that she keep wanting to say watch in this video. Her comic that she writes, Monstrous Sea. He was one of the 5 or 7, I think 7, mods, like the angels in the book. He ended up being one of those, which finding that out blew my mind. I was like, what? No way. And then not only that, but he introduced her to his friends, who were the rest of those 7 angels that were the mods, and like the second popularist. Each person in the group was like the second most popular person, second to her in the forums. So there's that. And that blew my mind, and she kept putting off telling him who she was, because he was just really opening up to her. She was reading he was making her comic into a book, and she was reading that, and he saw her drawings. He encouraged her to put the drawings online, said that it looked like the most similar to her Lady Constellation, which was her mod or whatever, like her, as the writer, that was her screen name. And so there was that. So she ended up putting this online, and she met the other people, and she just, like, the further they got in the relationship, the harder it was for her to tell him who she was. And eventually, her parents, not realizing how big and popular and well-known, and how many people read her comic and went on the forums and everything and knew about her, not knowing any of this, just knowing that she had it and that some people read it. Her parents, my husband's talking about something downstairs, her parents published a paragraph about her in like the senior newspaper thing they do at her school, and mentioned about her being the writer for that, which ousted her to everybody in the school, that, well, everybody in the school read that, and of course found out that she was that, and they told other people, and everybody in the forums found out, and it was just crazy. Of course, her boyfriend went to the school and was a senior and found out, and it was just crazy. It all went downhill from there in the worst way, and it even came to the point of her almost committing suicide. She was definitely thinking about it, and it was just so crazy how depressed she got, and I was not expecting a lot of that. I was blown away by the fact that Wallace was Rainmaker. I was blown away. I thought that she might get found out at one point. That was kind of one of the things I thought of, and that there'd be drama. But I was blown away at maybe not necessarily that, because like I said, I thought that might happen, but blown away that that she just went so downhill after that happened, without really anything negative causing her to. It was just the fact that everybody knew it was her, and she's just a very quiet and reserved person, and that was just crazy for her, and to the point of, well, plus her boyfriend was really mad at her, and it's like the only person she knew in real life, aside from his friends, who she figured were probably mad at her too. And then she had a couple online friends, and she couldn't, at the time that she was really feeling down, she tried to get a hold of them, and neither of them responded because they were doing something else, busy or whatever. And that's when she got to the point where she went to this well house turn thing, this place where a bunch of people have gone off this cliff driving, because it's just a dangerous turn, and she almost drove her car off the cliff. And then she decided not to, or at least not that day, and thought maybe she'd come back the next day, but she couldn't do it right then. She didn't have to. She could just go home and be in her room and go to sleep and not have to think about any of it. And as she was leaving, her boyfriend showed up, or I don't know if they were even boyfriend and girlfriend at this time, but the guy showed up and told her how sorry he was and stuff for being such a jerk about things, which that's very cliche that he would turn up right then. But it was a very good book. Toward the end, it got kind of, I don't know, a little too depressed, but I mean, it's probably something that would happen in real life. It's just not something I would have thought would have happened. I never would have expected her to come to the point of almost committing suicide. She was so depressed. But she didn't. She didn't go back the next day and commit suicide. She didn't go back at all and commit suicide. After her boyfriend apologized, it kind of started to go back uphill gradually, and things got better, and she ended up writing an ending to her comic, which she for a while wasn't sure if she was going to be able to do, because she didn't have the what's the word, not motivation, I mean it's kind of that, but didn't really have the creativity and stuff, she couldn't figure out in her mind where it would go, or couldn't make herself do it. So yeah, to put it a little more simply, I like the book. I definitely recommend it to anyone that would be interested, who might be interested in that, and any of the things that I've said. I liked that it was two different sides and how they ended up kind of coming together, and I'm not sure what she ended up doing after that. I knew that she could pay for college, but I'm not sure how long that would go on, like how long she would continue to get money off of this. She'd probably have to end up either doing some other comic, or adding more to this or something, or getting some other job, because it wouldn't give her money forever, but it would be good money for a while. But it was definitely a very neat idea for a book, and I liked that they kind of did that world, because there are a lot of people that make money through that kind of thing. I actually have a friend who, like her and her husband, and they have a little girl, Joanna, but the little girl doesn't really, she's not part of the the thing necessarily, but she's adorable. And they work together and they sell things at or not, like at anime conventions, and have been working on an app and other things, and they sell plushies and all that jazz. And just read a book about somebody that's kind of in that world and selling merchandise based on what they're working on online and that kind of thing, having a real relationship with people online, and that's very much kind of what they do. Not necessarily, I don't think they do really comics. Maybe they do, I don't know. But it was very interesting. I definitely liked the book. It was probably one of my favorites of the one I got, just because it was very interesting. Like I said before, it had the messages back and forth in it. It had the comic pages. Let me show you. Comic pages like that. But I really liked it. Sorry I don't have a whole lot of energy in this. I was just like, oh, I have to go do that. Make sure I do it. I've just been busy this weekend. I had a wedding yesterday, and then I came home and didn't want to do much. And then when I was getting stuff ready, doing laundry and stuff before that, today we had church and then a cookout. And you don't want to hear all my excuses, but we've just had busy days. And so I wanted to get this done for you guys, and I don't have another book yet. I don't have to show you yet because it's not till Monday, but I don't have another book yet. I'm hoping to find one, hopefully in the house or something, by Monday. And I'm planning on getting another video out Monday for my next book. Please, well, if you have any suggestions for books I should read and predict and review about, please put those in the comments below. Please, please, please. I would love to hear your suggestions. That'd be awesome. I love hearing about different new books. I heard about, what is it? Not Mockingjay, but whatever the first one was. I can't even think of it right now. I don't know. Whatever the first book was of this series. That and Twilight. Both those books, I'm pretty sure. I know Twilight for sure, but maybe both of them. I heard from a friend at school before they were even a thing. My friend, whoever it was, would be like, "Oh, this is a really good book. You should check it out." And so then I'd read it, and it was really good. And then a little after I finished reading it, it blew up. Not because I read it, but it's fun to kind of get ahead of some of those books and hear about them from other people about how good they are before they're super popular. Because then I almost don't want to read them because they're just too popular, and I don't want to be part of the trending crowd. But if you have a good book, even if it is popular, please, 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 I would love to hear your suggestions below. Also, please, below, put any comments you have about what you thought of this book, whether you liked it, whether you didn't, who your favorite character was maybe, which, I mean, I guess my favorite character is probably the main character, but if you had a different favorite character or anything else you want to say about it, I'd love to hear in the comments below. Yeah, so that's it for this review. I will hopefully see you in a couple days, tomorrow, I guess. Oh no. I will hopefully see you tomorrow on Monday, so yeah. I will see you tomorrow, one way or another. Okay, see ya.